Hey man,
What?
welcome to the Black Gentlemen's Club, everybody. A place where we engage in candid conversations about the challenges that Black men face and strategies how we can overcome them. Now, in this club, we share our thoughts, emotions, failures, and successes, creating a platform that encourages others to grow and to understand. Now, remember to subscribe, like, share, follow, hit that like button again, subscribe again, share, and follow again, and then comment. But look, you can find us on all platforms, all right? Now, today we have myself, as you can read my name. You got my man Loki over there.
You
And Mac over there,
What's
glistening.
happening?
You got Trey over there.
I ain't glistening no more. Why you hate?
Hey man, look, you was on it, bro. You were glistening. like use a whole word, glistening.
Man,
Loki,
I couldn't
man.
get the light right, man. Come on, man. Leave
It's
me
all
alone,
right.
man.
Look,
No,
man,
keep going.
so what's going on, man, with this situation?
I'm gonna tell you about something. This is a safe space, right? Because I'm pissed off, right? You said it's a safe. You said it's a safe space. You said it's a Black Gentlemen's Club. So I'm gonna vent to y'all real quick.
We're gonna talk
Here's
shit.
what's
But
going
spread
on.
love.
Here's what's going on in my world. My lady got her hair cut. She got the Holly Berry thing going on right now. I was excited for it, right? I was excited for it because one thing I hate is weave. I hate weave in my socks. I hate weave in my food. I hate weave in the towels. I hate it.
Stop it. Get some help.
You trying to tell me there's one thing, it's a pet peeve because it be everywhere. All right. And one thing I know about women is they'll set you up. My wife find any type of hair that ain't her strand and texture, it's a problem.
Damn.
So I just know they be plucking one at a time and dropping it strategically in places and whatnot.
Yes, they do.
But
I feel like that too. I feel like it's
you feel me?
diabolical. It's a plan out here in these streets.
So I'm looking at her head. I'm like, bet I got like a good 4 to 5 months, no hair on nothing. My clothes is gonna be all beautiful. Like car ain't got no hair, bed sheets ain't got no hair. Why I get lied to? Because next thing I see is an Amazon package with some weave in it.
Oh, shit.
Now, not only do I got her hair, I got red hair, blonde hair, black hair. I ain't safe. So
Damn,
I don't got no protection for her to be like,
Do she
who the
do
hell's
hair?
hair is this? She does hair.
Oh.
So the hair is out of control. I'm very upset because what I thought I had 4 to 5 months of just protected space is now
Weave
ruined, and I got to come home to a new woman every other day. But it's all
Damn.
good.
So you don't
It's all
like
good.
that. You don't like. You want her to keep the cut.
Well, no, I want the hair back, but
He just
I
don't
just
want.
want.
He don't want to. He's traumatized. He's triggered. He's been traumatized. That's what it seemed like. It's like somebody like she either took the belt out and gave you the whipping of a lifetime.
I got whooped.
Traumatized.
I got whooped.
Tell.
Oh, was it Medea joint when the dude came out the shower and she was spanking it with the oil off of Max's forehead?
Man, that shit was funny as hell. She was spraying baby oil on the floor while she was whooping his ass. Yo, out of the shower. That's funny, boy.
It went over his forehead and put it on the floor and start whipping.
Oh
So
man, fuck y'all, man.
So, what we're not gonna do, we ain't gonna get on you this episode, Mac. We already know you had a long day. It's all right. Just
Bro, I can't believe I missed that whole joke, bro. It's fucked up. It's all good. I'll take my L today. I get back.
But, no, I understand though because it's a setup, bro. Like all them different colors of hair, and like she said, she places it,
it's got to be placed.
and then she's like, "Hey, babe, who hair is this?" And he's like, "Huh?"
She really asked you who hair? She don't ask you who
No.
hair it is.
Okay,
I'm
but
about to say,
it got me thinking: do women truly love peace, or do they like a toxic man in their life? Do they like this this level of curiosity, this level of mystery that I guess a quote unquote not boring dude don't provide sometimes? So what do you think? Do women like toxicity in their life? Come on, this is a safe place. Don't look at me like that, boy. Come on.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh yeah, shit. They love toxic in their life. I know it for a fact. I see it. We see it every day. Do you not? How much shows on drama is meant for men?
None.
Sports Center.
That's
all the drama we want.
Wrestling is the closest we get, right?
Wrestling.
That ain't
Football, closest we get. But that ain't really drama. That's sports. But you talking about like actual drama? Like Love and Hip Hop ain't for us.
Mm-hmm.
Flavor Love wasn't for us. Real world wasn't for us. All that shit, Game, Sisters, all that shit wasn't for us.
Side note, I don't even know how he got a show.
Who?
Flavor Flav.
Oh shit! Yeah, I don't
But
know.
we
That
can
is
get
true.
back to what he was saying. How
But
did
like,
I-
for real, I believe it. I believe that they enjoy it, and I don't think it's like, I don't think that they mean to do that. It's just that it creates excitement. It's the emotional stimulator. You know, they
Yeah.
live off emotions more than we do, so it's an emotional stimulator. So
Mhm.
that's what I think it is. I could be wrong. Ladies, tell me if I'm wrong, please.
Women live off their hormones.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They need
They
that.
powerful though.
Let me drop a piece of hair right
Get
here.
Mac face.
Go
Mac
upstairs.
don't want to say nothing. I'm gonna get you to talk, Mac. You
No,
ain't going.
He's trying hard not to say that because he knows if he
Uh-huh.
says something, it's gonna be this.
Stop it. Get some help.
No, I was just trying to get y'all the flow, but yes, they do. And honestly, the good niggas is
I was a
boring.
toxic ass dude at one point. Go ahead, say it.
I think we all were.
Speak
Oh,
your
God.
truth, Kenny.
I think we all were, bro. Oh God. And I just know that this old saying, girls just want to have fun, that shit's real. Because they really fucking do. They don't like when they get bored. When they get bored, that's when they start getting creative and shit. I'm like, okay. Then, you know, they tap into other sides, that vengeful shit, and I don't want to deal with all that. But like, yes, bro, they love that toxic shit. That's why Future's still on top. I'm just saying. I'm just
He be
saying,
sitting
bro.
in the car.
Yeah, that might be this video that I saw that somebody sent me that with this girl and this guy on this couch. They were talking,
Mhm.
and he was faithful. He gave her the password, gave everything. Like, looked at this one. She was like, "What? No hoes?
Mhm.
You don't text nobody?" She's like, "What's wrong with you? Talk to somebody."
Right.
Really?
He
That's
was passing
crazy.
out. He was passing out. She was like, "Yo, no, DM her, hit her up,
Mhm.
picture. She got a big butt. Do she look better than me?" He's like, "No, she." He's like, "What? She better look better than me." Like, she was going
Oh,
off,
I ain't
bro.
never heard no. That's crazy. Women really
No,
go outside of they
Because when
outside of
everything
themselves and
is
do some shit like that.
balanced,
Mm.
women, bro, when everything is balanced,
Yeah.
it's when they spider sense and start tingling. Like, something got to be wrong. Let me find something to be wrong
Okay.
in this sense.
Oh,
It's
we
like-
getting there.
I'm gonna get there anyway. You know me, but I'm just saying, like, it's a time where men are getting to that mindset where I gotta focus and lock in. I ain't got
Mhm.
time for all of that other stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
women don't understand that concept. They thinking, okay, you're blocking me out, so you got to be doing something. I'm trying to get this money for us. That's what I'm trying to do.
What he said.
I'm trying to elevate us. You know what I'm saying? So, like, one episode, Logan say 90-10%.
Mm.
That's what it is. Like, men, we focus on how can we lower your percentage versus
That's-
your 10%. Now I'm trying to get you to put in 5%. So don't
That's just
look
how
for
we are.
drama, because then I'm gonna throw 20% your way that you gotta carry, because now I gotta focus on how can I make what I didn't do right.
What you said?
Damn. So
That's
yeah,
heavy.
that's for all the women. You see my name right there?
You better pick that game up. Pick it up.
That's
Stop
heavy.
playing. Stop playing with me.
You know what else I think about is like when it's boring, quote unquote boring, it makes you reflect more on yourself. Like we doing this show right here. I think people hate the accountability. We talked about accountability a lot last season, but when it's quiet and you ain't got the loudness to distract you, you got to look at yourself again. And I think a lot of people don't want to do that.
We have to. That's one of the things we gotta do. Look at ourselves. Whether it's with the pink hair, the blonde hair, the black hair. We gotta look at ourselves.
Talk to him.
I'm just saying.
Talk
You
to him.
How are they not bald headed anyway? It's
Oh,
like, I'm
God,
just saying, the amount of hair that you find, it's like where like you are like growing it as it. It's like pause, bro. Come on.
Right,
But
everywhere.
you still
Drains
got
is
all
clogged.
of this hair. Like
That's
for me, if
trying
I
to tell
lose all of that hair, I'm gonna have a big patch right here.
Boy, you ain't gonna look like me. Look at this. I used to have a hairline right here.
That's all oil now.
That's that. That's that Wu Tang. That's that Wu
It's
Tang
all
forever.
This shit slid off. That's what happened.
Hey, nah. bro. Tell him to get off your back like
Yeah,
that,
man.
dog. Shit.
I would, but I ain't gonna lie. This shit low key kind of funny, bro. I can't even deny some of this shit, bro. All right, but anyway, go ahead.
Not for
All
the
right.
right. You got to bring some baby oil.
You gotta bring some
Just
baby oil.
send some baby.
You got to. You got to
No,
capitalize.
we gotta get
on-
sponsored first. We gotta get sponsored by whatever product you putting on your face. Who is that?
Johnson & Johnson.
All right, Josh,
No,
we reaching out to you next.
Crisco, my dude. I know Crisco when
Oh, this nigga, man. All right, man. Go on ahead now. Go ahead.
Hey, man. So I just want to start up
Tell you Crisco.
today's conversation with a little bit of like insight on
Mhm.
I think what triggered me with this thought is just once again thinking about I love discipline of physical fitness and the gym and routines, but I've also been really getting turned on to how everybody's ecosystem is different. So what works for you does not work for me in X, Y, and Z. So I'm just trying to understand how we can help support people hit goals, but also cater to their individual situations because it's so many different variations of it and so many different needs. We relate to each other as Black men because we have shared experiences, but we all vary in some way or another. So just curious to see how we could kind of start reaching out to people and understanding their specific situations and help implement change in their life.
So let me ask you: are you talking about just like random people that need help, or just like your group of people, or like is it a specific detail in that?
I'll at least want to start off with like our group, our age group,
Okay.
us right now. For instance, we talk a lot of times. Cordell, he's dope at reading books and just really digesting a lot of information, and that's his ecosystem. Where for me and you, it might be different. Just kind of understanding how we can identify certain strengths and then multiply it in each person that we know.
Well, I want to take them because I got this from the military, and I think as a platoon sergeant, I think it's the best way to kind of understand that, because no matter what, you got all these different people that have all these different backgrounds, and they all got different reasons why they can't. And nobody, I mean, some people reason might be the same. They want money, they want stability, they got to provide for their family, they got to go back and get their family. You never know. They trying to get a green card. It's so many different reasons, right? So with all these people, I think the one thing that helps bring them together is that we got one goal in mind. Is that goal in mind is to accomplish this, because this is going to bear fruit, or accomplish whatever the mission is in the military, because it's going to bear fruit that's going to allow us to do the things that we want to do separate. If that makes sense. I don't know if, well, no. I think that's still the same thing, because the goal has to be the same. It has to be one desired achievement that we all got to be aiming for. What we therefore can be different, but we have to go for the same thing and work towards that. But then we got to use the resources that come, like, I got to use the resources I have that I know how they work, and I got to learn more. But if I have a certain resource and you don't, then we can help each other out by collabing. And in a sense, that helps get us to the same place that we're trying to go. I ain't explaining it right, but y'all get what I'm saying.
I feel you.
I said I ain't explaining it right, but y'all get it.
I know that's why it sounds so wild, because you didn't explain it right. But y'all get what I'm saying though. No, but I do understand what you mean. I think to narrow things down, I'm gonna just put it in my perspective, what I feel like or what I think. Doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. We all got 24 hours in a day. You spend it how you want to spend it. If you have a family and your family is your priority, your family probably should be your reason why, not really your priority. Your reason why, and the reason why I say that is because your reason why drives what you do. So if you're doing this for your family, you should be getting up early, going to do X, Y, and Z for your family. Every action you should be doing to go back to feed your family. So if I'm trying to do things for my family to get us out of a better situation, they're my reason why. They're not my number one priority. My number one priority is to be able to provide food, shelter, whatever else for them. So what I'm going out to go work in X, Y, and Z for is for them. Now, if I find people who trying to do the same thing, cool. I'm going to get with them too and see if we can all go in the same direction, because they're trying to feed their family like I'm trying to feed my family. If I got a way to be able to give you a system or anything else that I may use, I'll share it. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't take what you want to take out of it, unmold it, unpack it, fix it how you want to fix it, and then apply it to you. You just share information that way. But I think the common goal is that if you have a family, or if you have any type of resemblance of a family, that's probably what you're trying to do, is do it for your family, unless you're a selfish person.
I got something to build off of that. So I'm building my book of quotes right now. My list of things that I like to say that I think kind of hit.
Uh-oh.
But I think in the early mornings I start thinking about a lot of stuff, and I realize, I think Latravion, you said something last episode about having somebody's back, having their 6 and their 12, and it sparked my memory on it. And I thought about, when you have somebody's back, you actually got a completely different perspective than what the person's back you got. So I think walking through life with that mentality of knowing, like, I got your back, but I'm seeing a whole nother direction. In marriage and relationship, how do you feel about sometimes letting your partner lead you? I know we're called to be leaders, but is there a time that is okay for our partners to lead us?
I think that comes natural. I think in any type of relationship, partnership, mentorship, guidership, you all are leading in some way, because even if I'm mentoring you or I'm giving you words of encouragement, and based off of how you receive it is how I follow suit, or how I proceed with the next steps in helping you better yourself up. Make sure I got your back. Like, I think that's all. Like, if me and you, we got a mutual understanding, and if I got your back, I see everything that's happening around you. So in that perspective, I'm following your lead, but also I'm telling you what you can't see from a different perspective. And then you're telling me how you receive it from a different perspective. So I mean, I think, if that makes sense to me right now as I'm speaking, it don't make sense at all. But I'm just gonna
You
keep
sound
saying
like me
it.
now.
But I mean, if you continue to move accordingly, regardless of which direction each one of you are going, at some point you're gonna follow that person. That person gonna follow you, because you can't always lead the way forever, because you got to change paths, and you don't know what lies ahead of you. So if I can see what's behind you, then I get, from a different perspective versus,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got you.
I think the thing about leading, though, is that a lot of people. So, for example, I'm just use my household, right? Like, am I the leader in my household? I'm one of the leaders in my household. But the difference is, though, I have a different level of accountability than my wife does.
Mm.
She's not held accountable to if the lights go out in the house, or if there's no food in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I got
It's
different.
everybody has, like, it's like in a corporation. In a corporation, right? You have, everybody's a leader at every level. It's just there's different roles and different things or functions at each level, or at each position. So everybody's not playing the same position, because if you play the same position, you get nothing done.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for me, and I think when people use that word lead, everybody's a leader, whether you know it or not. It's just, are you willing to understand the level of responsibility and accountability that you have that comes with that leadership is the difference. So
how do you express your vulnerabilities as a leader? So I know sometimes that pressure that you just mentioned of the bills and the life, I still feel like even in my household, I can't vent the same way I would talk to even y'all, like to my wife or to my partners. Like, how do you as a leader get okay with saying it, or even how can you express those issues?
I mean, I say something about it whenever it is an issue for me. If I can't pay for something, I'll say something. Or if for example, like, not too long ago, my wife said something about, well, we have to pay this for my son's daycare, and I'm like, why you didn't tell me this before I did X, Y, and Z with the money? But that's also on me, because if I really want to make it clear that we're doing X, Y, Z with the money, I need a budget with it, and not be budgeting by myself. Even though she may not be doing anything right now because she's going to school full time, I probably still need to be budgeting with her. So it still goes back on to also, hey, this is what I'm doing wrong. This is what I need help with. But then let me look at myself first and see, how can I prevent that from being an issue? Or if it is an issue, how can I mitigate that issue?
See, when I hear that, all I think of is communication, because a good leader knows how to communicate, and a good leader has to communicate, because you can't lead and follow. I mean, I guess you can, But like when you're the leader, you have to be able to talk to your people and make sure that they're doing the things they need to do and give them the resources that they need to do it. Mm-hmm. So the greatest part about that is, though, they all have a different perspective, and problems that come in account in a play with that is that because they all have different perspectives and different priorities in a sense, they may think that their priority outweighs another, and you as a leader got to understand what really ranks high, what really is the final decision. You know, you got to break that down, but you got to be able to communicate, because even in a marriage, if I'm walking forward or if I'm front and she back, it's the same thing if you look at it from her perspective. You see that? That's just a yin and a yang. The things that I don't have, she got. She got my back. You know, and that's how it's supposed to work. If we're the same, if we're standing in the same position, we got 75% of this spectrum we can't cover. But if we split up a little bit and look at two different directions, we at least cover 50% of what needs to be covered in our perspective, right? I mean, at least, you know, just trying to do simple math, but I'm just saying, because I break it down in quads, you know? I mean, but in this case, it's two. So yin and yang, she got my back, we play off each other, and sometimes she's going to be in charge. I just got to, some shit I don't know about the kids that she know, and I got to listen to her, because if I fuck around and do that, I'm going to be wrong as hell. My family going to suffer from that. So
true.
Well, in life, bro, we are all the main character of our life.
That's what I see.
I think that would, you know, get people to that point where it's back and forthness. It's like you don't understand that, like, in their mind, they are doing what they have, the best that they can do to get to where they're trying to go with the abilities that they have.
Jeez.
So, I mean, if we look at that, like, you talking from a different life journey than Cordero,
got to go somewhere.
Loki,
take it.
and me. So if you see that from a different angle, you can't really narrate their story. You just can, I guess, give them bulletin points where they can. I'm trying to put it in an analogy what makes sense to a life story itself. But if you give them bulletin points, like if you're leading them, you can be the side character in that specific journey that they're doing, but you're still pushing them to be their own main character. You're not the main character in their life.
You just got a supporting role.
Throw me that oop, because this is something I was really pressing in my relationship, and I'm like, I got so much peace from actually stop trying to argue my innocence. You know, I've been trying for so long to justify my bad for making this mistake, X, Y, and Z. But it's like, regardless if I live perfect for the rest of my life, it's still, that's her own life. That's her own script. And I'm always going to be that character that she chooses to make me. And one thing that I was realizing as I was going through that journey was I wanted to get more freedom. I wanted to be lighter, like emotionally. And I realized, like, I think I read something that said, like, anger is something you carry for somebody else. So once you're able to free that and understand that that's their anger, like, it don't matter, I did wrong, but I asked for forgiveness or whatever, that's on them to let go. It made me so much lighter. And that, once again, helped me become a better leader, because now it's like, I'm not always trying to walk on eggshells to prove that I'm a good person or that this mistake was not wrong. It's like, yo, I let what happened happen. I acknowledged it, and you now have to heal from it.
I mean, that could come off a little assholeish too, but it's the truth at the same time. Because I could say that, you know what, like, come on, think about it. If I cheat on her and then I'd be like, you know what, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I do really apologize. Do you forgive me? Because I forgive me. Because I ain't gonna do it no more, but we're gonna be good. You know, that come off like, damn, bro, you don't even recognize you did something to me that really hurt. So I think there's a self-accountability part of that. But at some point, you got to forgive yourself first and then move forward. Because you fighting for that is gonna be a lifelong battle. You're never gonna truly get it. But you forgive yourself and let go of that weight, then you could actually walk in your light and then try to make things truly better in the way that they're supposed to. But
well, yeah, I'm not saying definitely in any situation, not even just like extremes, but like not just disregard that you did something foul or whatever. But you do have to also understand there's only so much you can do to correct the situation.
That's real.
Yeah.
Can I add something to that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to. Yesterday night, it was about maybe like 2:00 in the morning, and I was just chilling in the studio, just thinking, and I came to an understanding with myself is people, whether it's depression or anger, is so driven on making your story acceptable to the people that you care about the most. You know, because you get frustrated, you get depressed because your story is not aligning to what their approval rates are. It's like we sit here and we think about all of the time is what can I do to make this acceptable? Man, we got to make more money so we can be accepted in society. You see what I'm saying? We want our wife to be happy, our women to be happy, so we do more to be accepted based off of our story segments. So I mean, I think like Loki say, it does come down to the sense of that perception of, you know, for me, it's just being accepted. Who gonna accept what you're doing? Like, you really focus on doing what you got to do to get to where you got to go, but people come along in your life and you're trying to make them fit into your storyline.
Yeah,
But once he
and
learned
that
to let
happy
that
part,
go,
that happy part. So it's kind of like I don't like what happy is sometimes, because it's like sometimes we forget how close we are to success. And I know for myself, we work and it's good to be a dog and to be grinding, but it's like, yo, sometimes I forget, like, I got a house and clothes and cars, and it might not be the exact model car, the exact house that I want, but it's like, yo, I could be happy where I'm at and die right now and be good. But a lot of times we fall into that depression because, like you said, we trying to fit somebody else's script, somebody else's narrative of what happiness and success look like.
True.
It's
So
dangerous.
So I'm gonna jump in this piece. So I've said this plenty of times before. Like, for me, only you determine your own happiness, right? It's not you don't. Your happiness is not determined by anything external, but you. So, but for me, like, so I'm gonna use me as an example. So for me, I'm cool where I'm at right now, right? As far as if like you said, if I had to just die and die now, it is what it is. But my goal is bigger than me. What I'm working for,
That's
what
what I
I'm
was
striving for, is bigger than me. It's for my kids' future. It's for me to build a legacy, a trust, a foundation, whatever, for them. I know I'm not going to enjoy all of that I'm about to build, but somebody has to build it. I'm willing to sacrifice that, but that makes me happy. That makes me happy, so that way in the back end they can be happy and not be in a place to where it can possibly cause them depression and stress and X, Y, and Z for not knowing how to do certain things. But like I tell Loki too, is that what I'm building, how I'm doing it, I got to teach my kids so they can teach their kids how to do the same thing. Because not only can I build it, but they can also tear it down. And I gotta show them how to maintain and how to sustain the things that are being built. So, like, that's where my happiness comes into play, is doing those things and just making sure that whatever I'm doing is aligned with what God wants. Because when I wasn't doing the things that was aligned with what He wants, I wasn't happy. Just being real, I wasn't happy. I was always looking for something to make me happy.
amen.
Like, I wasn't happy because I wasn't really trying to do what He needed me to do and what He wanted, what He was aligning me to do. So that started taking away from my happiness, which made me start looking at outside things, made me start regretting certain decisions. I don't regret nothing no more. I'm just like, I understand why I went through what I went through. I get it. Now let me use what I got to get to where you want me to be.
I'm gonna ask every one of y'all. I want y'all to be truthful with me this episode too, and I'm gonna actually answer it first. I'm gonna let y'all think about it after I answer it. But I want to know, like, truly, like, what are you scared about that's stopping you from reaching your fullest potential? All right. So for me right now, I think so many days, so many nights, I'm like, I know I could be, if you don't know already, I have a DJ company, I DJ. And I know so many times I could be successful. I could have been the greatest DJ if I would have. And I got a list already in my head. I already know what I need to do to become what I need to be, or who I need to be. If I promote myself and market more, if I practice more, if I engage with my crowd more, if I think I bashed social media so much that I never embraced it fully. So I missed a lot of pockets in the past 10 years that I know I could have lived my dream. And I think I think for me in my head, it's so easy for me to do it, quote unquote, it's easy to do it that I just kind of dismiss it. But I don't know, maybe I'm afraid of success, or maybe I'm afraid of failing what I think is easy to be successful. But I just want you to kind of identify that in your life so that we at least know what our challenge is, and then we can kind of build up off of it. So whoever want to go next.
Yeah, well, I think my biggest challenge is for me. Well, I don't think it is. Well, I'll tell you my first one, then I'll tell you what. It's not that no more, but then my second one. So my first one was that I would misuse my success. That was my first one, was that I would misuse my success.
Mhm.
I'm over that piece. The second one is more that I didn't instill the things I need to do into my family. That's really the only two things that stop me. Other than that, I really don't care. You know,
Mm.
like I said, I'll show up. Just tell me where, I'll be there. You know, that's just my mentality. I'm at that point to where, and it's kind of like, I'm gonna read this quote from Oprah. So Oprah made this quote, and it still sticks with me. So the quote she said was, "As you become more clear about who you really are, you'll be better able to decide what is best for you the first time around."
Dang.
That's
So
real.
that sticks with me a little bit, because I've made those mistakes. I made those, I hit those hurdles. I had those challenges. I've started companies, didn't go nowhere. I lost money. I've owed people money. I've done all that stuff. What's next?
That's real, bro. That's real as shit. Damn. All right. I guess it's my turn because y'all hit me with this one. I'm gonna go. But
Come
look,
on, grow. Keep
on-
growing, bro.
on
We
real
stretching
shit,
you
bro.
right now.
I feel like the reason, or I guess it's fear in a sense, but it's fear that I don't trust myself. Like,
Mm.
I really don't trust myself. And I train myself to be a better person, live by these morals. But then I know what I actually need sometimes is to be selfish. And I don't want to be selfish. I'm scared of it because I'm scared that if I'm selfish, I could truly be selfish. I don't want to be that.
Mm.
Like, example, I know what I need for my business. I know I can buy my trailer. I know I can do these things. And I know I probably need to do those things. I know them. I know what they would do. But for some reason, I don't want to hurt my family because I don't want to make a decision that's gonna slow us down or hold us back. I don't know, man. It's a lot more, but that's what I'm thinking.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I think for me, this question I've been avoiding my whole life. I think
Let's
for
go.
How I felt. Well, he hit
I
hard.
think for me, my fear and success is being loved.
Hmm.
And the only reason why I say that is because if I'm let's say hypothetically, become a superstar artist, right? And then you get all that love and then it just disappears. I don't think for me, or my background and my life story, what I've been through and the people that I lost on the way, I don't think I could fully accept being abandoned by the people who put me in the position that I always wanted to be in. And I mean, not saying that like the people got the final say, so I give all the glory to God. But once I'm loved and then it just disappear,
stolen.
that shit really, I mean, as a man, you don't want to say it, but it hurt.
Oh, yeah.
It hurt.
You feel it because that's something that you always wanted. And then you get abundance of it and then it just disappear. I don't think I can handle that. So I think my life story, God is embracing me to accept being loved. That's it. Because growing up,
That's
love
tough.
was something that you never really seen. Like for me personally, in the neighborhood and the family environment that I grew up in with the black people around me, and then they leaving, and that sense of abandonment is something that I always carry with me. Like I've always maneuvered in a position where I can't be abandoned. Because if you leave me, I'm already emotionally ready for that. mentally I've already prepared myself for that. Like you say, you prepare for faith. Mentally, I've already prepared to be loved and let go. So I think that's my biggest fear in becoming successful. Like, I want the success, don't get me wrong. I'm ready to be famous, but I just don't want to be loved and not loved at all.
Man, I think that's super powerful that all four of us got our own adversary. I look at it like a Apollo versus Creed or something. Like it's a different opponent, but it all seems to stem from a similar place. And first off, I just want everybody to know that you got a layer of insulation just by being part of this group. So if you need the love, you got it. It's here already. So jump out there. You know what I'm saying? If you need the trust, you got it. I trust you by being on the show with you. It's nothing. You got it, right? If you think you thinking of past mistakes and past failures, you are a leader in this group. So you already got people that trust you in that area too. So I think just knowing that first level of confidence is coming from this network that we got. And also, just over the course of these years that we've been talking, so many people is also trusting our guidance, our decisions. So it's like right now, although I don't want to lead or move straight off of emotions, sometimes I think that's where I need to go because I've been so logic based in my life up to now. And like Trayvon was saying, I've been emotionally unavailable almost my whole life because of hurt and pain and neglect and all that. So I'm just now this year tapping in with emotions and understanding how to like feel. So I think that's the power of a woman is she's able to make decisions off of the feelings sometimes that we can never see through logic. And so I'm trying to tap into that side a little bit myself right now.
Boy, I'm telling you, these messages is what people be needing to hear. I'm telling you.
That's simple. That's simple.
But you know what? You made me think of something. Because now we've identified these are our issues in reference to what's stopping us, the barriers that are really put in front of us. The question Jenkins said or Cordero said was what's next earlier. And that's the most important part, I think. What do you do next now that you know, now that you've identified this is the issue that is holding you back? How the fuck do you break that damn barrier and keep moving?
You should
I'll tell you how I do. Yeah.
Talk to it. Talk.
So for me, man, I think I told y'all this maybe like last year or a year and a half, some odd time ago. I can't remember when. But like once I started changing how I did things and started doing how God wanted things to be done, I don't really care what happens next. It don't really matter to me. It doesn't matter. I'm being real. It doesn't bother me not one
you know
bit.
it's taken care of. It's gonna work out.
Either way you say it.
Exactly.
We gonna win.
You understand that logic that God already told you, yeah. If the whole world tell you no, God already said yes. So what does it even matter? Because God just gave you a guaranteed check that said, I'm going to sign off on this. I'm betting on you. Now it's time for you to bet on you.
That's why I told my cousin too, the same thing. That same thing that I was told, I told him.
You know what? And then this is something that you if y'all don't know, I think Cordell should start charging for a subscription for just links because he'll send you the most powerful videos every day and just change your life. He got an amazing playlist, but he sent me a video, maybe by Myron Golden or somebody at one point. But I just realized that my beliefs, because I had a limitation on what I thought I could do, I was limiting what I thought God could do for me. And it's like, it's crazy because sometimes I've heard so many millionaires say you got to be unreasonable with your ambitions, like to get to your dream. It has to almost sound insane, but it's only insane because we men and we're not thinking about what God do. So it's like right now I'm moving in that same spirit where it's like, yeah, it sounds crazy for me to say I'm gonna be a millionaire in 2 years, but who's to say that next month something don't drop? You know, I just got to keep believing and moving in that same energy. Like, yo, speak it, but also act. Like, get on the show, get on the pod, record, promote, love your wife, love your kids, love your homies. Like, moving that energy, and it's gonna happen.
That's the shit that I expect for us to accept no excuses on. Like dead ass. Like I I understand it's work we got to do, but no matter what we look at, and we can look for outside sources to give us approval, but it's a waste of time. We know what we got to do. We know ain't nobody gonna give us no sympathy for not doing it. We know it got to be fucking done. God already told us to, and those are the things that need to be done in order for us to get to where we going with our family. What we doing?
What
Answer the question.
On the
I finally
whole
got a
journey,
button.
you're gonna
I
be
did something.
judged.
Right. I hear you over there.
People
Nah,
gonna
I'm just
question
saying
your
it's
every
true.
move until you show them. Until they see the final results, people gonna question it regardless.
That's
Because
it.
they don't understand your vision. And it's not meant for them. It's meant for you. Just like God's creation. If you look outside, you see the nature, the trees, the water, the air. It just, when you relish in God's creation, you understand that your visions are limitless. Your capabilities are limitless. We are made in the image of God, right? So as we walk this earth as man, you can conquer anything you put your mind to. You can't stop dreaming. You can't stop believing in you.
Hey, we got a song like that.
Yeah.
But real talk, like if you, because I was about to go into a Bible, almost a mini Bible lesson. So I'm gonna do it anyway. Still,
Do it. It's on your heart, man. It's on your heart. Do it.
beginning talking about, you said being made in God's image in Genesis, right? So when God made you in his image, it's his likeness, his mannerisms, and so forth. And God is creative in nature, right? So now but before he made you, he made an ecosystem for you to thrive in. A lot of people forget about that piece. He made the ecosystem for you to thrive, and now he put you here. You are a lesser being to do more. He can do much more with a lesser being than he did with his own angels. And he gave you authority over certain things that he didn't give them authority over, which is crazy, right? And then on top of that, later on, he said you would know a tree by its fruit. So your fruit justifies your work. So if you ain't doing any work, you ain't gonna bear no fruit.
Right.
You ain't gonna see a pear tree. You ain't gonna see a pear tree like grow bananas. It's not a banana tree. It's a pear tree. It's what it does. It's what it do. So like, but before that tree sprouts up, it has to go down first. It has to go into the dark place, root up, and then sprout up. It doesn't go straight up first. It goes down and then it sprouts up. So it has to build a root, a foundation, and that foundation has to be on God. Then you sprout up and do all your work and start being watered and that's when your community waters you and help nurtures you. It helps brings you to the place where you can bear fruit that you can now share with other people, and it still replenishes every time.
So I be trying to say, you speaking that real knowledge.
Oh God, bro. I'm
People
over
don't
here like
understand
yes. Yeah.
The harder your trials and tribulations are, the deeper in that foundation God is planting your roots, so you can endure all the storms when you sprout up. You see these trees in the midst of hurricanes with these big roots, they don't go nowhere. They might lose their, leaves, which is like friends, family members, or acquaintances, but the tree still stand tall.
Yeah.
Through all seasons. So we
That's
been molded to be some goats.
Oh God.
That's what I'm
I'm so
saying.
proud of my brothers, man. I'm proud of my brothers, bro.
Look,
proud of my brothers.
Look, man. I also want to say, like, for me, I'm kind of not. I can't give myself no more excuses either. So a lot of times in my life, I've been feeling like two-faced. Cause I be in the club, then I be trying to find a relationship with God, then I be somewhere else, and it's like I can't keep doing certain things and expecting to get the full benefit of what I deserve or what I'm entitled to get from my relationship with God. So it's like right now, I love hip hop, I love music, but it's like certain things I can't put into certain fertilizer I can't put in my garden no more. You feel me? Because what I put in is what's gonna come out, and it's like if I'm putting in trash, it's what's gonna produce as well. So it's been a journey right now where I'm doing a clean sweep of what detox of my body and my mind, what I watch, what I like. It's holiday season's coming up, and certain holidays I'm not gonna take part of no more. And I think it's like we be dumbing down stuff like Halloween as being just, it's just mask. But it's like, bro, you opening up portals and spirits. Like, stop letting yourself get into that. Stop watching these horror films and all that. Like, I'm just trying to really reset my life and so I can become stronger in my purpose and goals.
I respect that. I respect that. Damn.
Yeah.
Y'all boy got deep on my head this time, boy.
Look, it's the warm up, right? The come up and the blow up. Ain't that what J. Cole got?
Oh God.
Bro, that oil went away when we went deep. That thing disappeared.
Hey man, I had to turn that light off, man. Leave me alone,
Speaking
man.
of that,
You sure did get less oily. That's crazy.
it's crazy though. When we was talking about friendships,
Yeah.
and when and what I'm about to say about to break it down, and
Mhm.
when you really know when you should walk away or not. But the thing is, if you look at it, like we were just talking about God, but the most beautiful thing about God is He waits until you get it right.
Mhm. Patient, boy.
He never
Telling
leave
you.
you. That's the, and you know what I'm saying? That you are always by His side. He's right there. He don't leave us, we leave Him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So when, like you said, like your friendships and stuff like that, it ain't about leaving or whenever you're gonna leave. It's about letting them know, I'm always here, regardless.
Yeah.
When you're ready to come home, I'm here.
I love
I
it.
learned that from God, bro. On God. I'm dead serious, bro. I learned that from God on God. But it makes sense. Because that's exactly what he does. He has patience with us because he know we flawed, bro. We are not perfect. And ain't nobody perfect. So I'm just gonna wait till you learn your lesson. Cause life gonna give you some knots and some bumps and some bruises. You gonna come back to your mom asking for, or your dad asking for some help, like, hey, it's bleeding. Can you fix it? I'm telling you. How you do. How you do.
Hey, question. Have y'all ever seen these videos where folks hold on to trauma in certain areas of their body?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I remember seeing that before. When I was like a young soldier in the military, my PA
I'm just
showed me.
I'm just
It's
curious
like
if y'all feel like y'all got any places where you feel like you got built up trauma, and if so, do you know how to release it?
My goddamn head.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
All right,
Okay.
give me the
Yeah,
yes.
I got 31 years of trauma.
Jeez.
But that's just something that
Yeah, that nigga story crazy.
that's
But
just
anyway.
something that I've actually, you don't learn to let it go. I've learned to accept that it's always going to be there, and am I going to let it suffocate me, or am I going to suffocate it? But I mean, I've never known my trauma until I started understanding who I was as a person. You see, once I was trying to be somebody else, my trauma didn't matter because it wasn't me. My life didn't happen to me. But the more I wanted to learn and understand who I was as a person, you gotta go through your trauma phases. You gotta go back. You gotta realize, okay, this is what happened. How do I process this? And as men, women, but I mean, speaking for men, we don't really know who to talk to about our trauma because if you do show any kind of vulnerability, you consider weak. You consider like you can't handle your responsibilities versus, okay, this is my cry for help. Not your time to judge mine because no two person walks the same. Like I said, you can't walk a mile in my shoes and I can't walk a mile in yours, but my shoes wasn't fit for you anyway.
Oh God.
But I think we need
God.
more outlets, though, to learn how to manage trauma, get over it, because I think that's what a lot of people life fall apart when the trauma start getting the best of them. Some people hide in their trauma though.
Oh yeah.
Some people do that.
But most people running from it. That's what they do.
Yeah,
Well, that's
you
what
can't
we do.
outrun it.
Let me say that's what we do. We try to run from it, but then you realize at one point in your life that I have to face this. Some
Right.
people still don't talk to their parents, bro. Life too short for you not to have a relationship with your mom or dad. And you got an ability to have it. Like, talk to your people. Stop holding that shit and let it go. Forgive. Like, man, come on, man.
Like a buffalo, bro.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jenkins. Go ahead.
I mean, me, I ain't gonna say I have trauma because I think we all do, but I'm just not sure if I do or not. But even if I do, I don't really stress it too much because I have an attitude of gratitude. That's one thing I've always latched onto, and my reason being is because I wasn't supposed to be here. Like literally, according to my mom and what the doctor said, I wasn't supposed to be here. As a baby. I was premature, all types of stuff, had heart defect, everything. I wasn't supposed to be here. But
Boy, you fought
to
for
them,
your
I
life.
wasn't supposed. To them, I wasn't supposed to be here. God put me here for a reason. So
Oh,
if I'm
God.
here for this reason, I'm already been through what I've been through. Like I said before, it's a pruning season. It's a reason why I've been, went through the fire, just like kind of like how how glass is made, how it's shaped in the fire.
Yep.
Same as
Right.
that. I mean, we're fragile at the same time, but it's still
Mhm.
it's beautiful. So like,
That's
I
real.
wouldn't say that the trauma is bad. I think it's like you said, how you internalize it, whether it's gonna suffocate you or whether you're gonna suffocate it. But I think an easy way to suffocate is just being grateful that you're alive and have just that attitude of gratitude, just for just everything. The fact you can breathe, walk, talk, eat, you have a place to stay, you have transportation, you have shoes on your feet, socks, you have a family, you have just every little thing you can think about.
Mhm.
Just be grateful.
So
That's
I'm
real.
also really big right now on releasing. And I think it's so weird how men are so transparent, but we so closed off. And it's like
Mhm.
we do some of the dumbest things, but here's what I'm learning about myself. I do not stretch my body. Like
Me,
physically, I don't stretch. And you look at
You ain't
how
the only
stiff your
one.
body is. That's the same for your inside emotions. That's the same for what you hold inside. The more you start doing little things like every morning, stretch for 10 minutes, just stretch your legs, stretch your arms, stretch your back. You're going to literally, your body loosens up. That's just
Mhm.
the physical part of how you can release what's inside of you. So it's like you start doing these little actions, taking 10 minutes to just connect with the earth, meditate, pray. You can loosen your internal spiritual part. You stretch for 10 minutes, you loosen in your body. Um, it's just like things we got to do, and I think we associate it with a feminine quality, but it's not or it's feminine in us. It should be in us, and we should embrace it more too. But like stretching is not bad. Being flexible as a man is not bad. Being able to release tears and emotional weaknesses to other people is not bad. It's just something that we've become so stiff with that it's like that's the normal,
It's all race,
you
bro.
know.
You said what?
It's all race.
Mm.
Why you say that?
It's all particular. Because we not.
Oh,
I mean, we were not taught that. You taught the complete opposite. You were taught to
Of course.
close your emotions. What you crying for? Stop crying if I give you something to cry about. It's normal to cry. Like if I was taught that it's okay to be vulnerable as a kid growing up versus you showing a sign of weakness, then you're pretty much dead. Right? But if I was taught like it's okay to be in a vulnerable state, talk to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Let people know what's going on with me versus just bottling it up and exploding eventually over time. I think life would be so simple because you would know how to process your emotions versus when they process you. Because you can't even if you're mad, you can't hide it forever. Eventually, you know what I'm saying? Like we need to learn how to release our that trauma inside of us. We need to learn how to. I mean, I think that's what we should do as a collective people. Not just us, like the world should do that. Like we should help people understand like it's okay to not be okay.
It
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying too. Because one way it's weird because being a marketer, man, like we learn a lot of stuff about behavior and like just human psychology. We have that. It's weird. So when you're talking about trauma, one thing in business too is pain points, right? Or they call it pain points. It's where it trigger an area of need that you have that you may not even know that you have, or they can create an area of need that you may not think you have. It's a pain point. Saying, oh well, like for example, when Loki's on the phone with me one day when some guy came to my door trying to sell me some water. I didn't really need the water, but if he could have said, yo, like came with some statistics or some data saying, hey, in your area, this is how much this is what's going on with your water in your area. We can reduce this by you buying blah 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 blah, whatever the case may be. That's a pain point that I didn't even know I needed, right? But that's just an example of how people can use your trauma against you. But then on the flip side, as you being an artist, right? Just using you, but you being an artist, you may use your pain through your pen. Like Mary J. Blige, she used her pain through her pen. All her best selling albums were trauma. Was trauma albums. It wasn't albums that were like very uplifting. They were painful albums. The same thing with Al Green, painful albums. Ray Charles, painful albums. Like there's people who can take their pain, magnify it, and put it out for everybody to see it. And sometimes it sucks because the world can be your biggest critic, and then you are too. But your work can be very harsh and unforgiving. So like you said, that whole trauma piece, trying to figure out a way to release it, I think that's where our gift may lie, isn't releasing that trauma.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I know for me, I had to identify what I do when I feel that discomfort. As I work through it, I overwork myself, and I think we talked about this a little bit in previous episodes. But I know for me, I will overwork to almost run away from the issue, like because in my head I'm making progress because I'm working, but it's like so many times you need to be still to actually heal. And I will push through by working, being too busy, and I never actually address the real issue. So it's just that growth factor of just over the years, I'm ready to start addressing some demons and conquering them. But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
No, it is tough.
Just kind of wanted to circle back too on one last point. So with the growth that we I think as a collective achieving, I feel like a lot of times our offspring, we want their lives to be better, but how do we continue to balance it where now you are able to be emotional with us and open, but then I feel like it's the dynamic is sometimes they get too much of something because we had a lack of, like, is there a way that we can prevent making weak men in the future?
You can
Man,
take this.
look. Yeah, I wanted to. I ain't gonna lie to you, cause my little dude, man, I'm gonna be honest. I just try to keep it real. I really do try to keep it honest. I don't hide too much. If he's a kid, so of course I don't try to hide what adults need to see. You know what I'm trying to say. I hide the things that adults need to see and deal with, but not things that. But in all honesty, bro, I try to let him see some of the pain too, because as much as we were taught, don't cry because such and such. A lot of that shit was true. The world don't care about your feelings. They want their money. They don't give a fuck about what you got going on your end. But at the same time, I want you to know where you can vent to and allow things to release. Because outside of us, they're probably not gonna be wanting to hear that shit. But if you find you a group of guys, a group of friends that hold you down like my group, then that's who you need to listen to. But you gotta have that discernment piece to know when and where to say to who and where type of deal. I mean, sound crazy, but that's the best way I think to teach that young man to be a man, because I learned by going through some shit and seeing some shit, and I watched. And kids, all they do is watch us. So if you're gonna watch, let me give you a good fucking show that you're gonna learn some shit for that can really help you. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense.
I think it's gonna be a continual process, though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be, a one size fit all type shoe. But like Mac said, exposing them to some of the real stuff, like I think it's something. Mac, you said something one time. I stuck with me. You said you try to let your kids make choices. Have them understand just choices. Like you let them decide, and then what they decide to do, they got to pay a consequence for it. Depending, right? A lot of times, as parents, we like to try to stop them from making that choice, so they don't have to pay that consequence. So like, I call it life lessons. I let my kids make life lessons too. But it's sometimes, like for example, my son wanted to stay up late one day. I was like, I ain't saying that. I was like, okay, you want to stay up late? Cool. Guess what? You gotta get up early in the morning though.
Yep.
You're gonna be tired. But see, but then the issue is that my wife don't like that, because it's just like, well, they gotta go to bed this time. I'm like, but I know that. They need to understand that. They don't understand that, nor do they know that. They don't understand that them staying up late results in being tired in the morning. They can't put two and two together. They just see that mommy and daddy staying up late. Why can't we stay up late? You see what I'm saying? So
that's real.
The thing of choices and allowing them to choose and then understand the repercussions of their choices, I think early on, and giving them that safe space within the household, I think it's probably more beneficial, because that's something that I did not have. I didn't have a father figure in my house like that. I had my mom until I had my stepdad when I got maybe 10th grade, and then he was only there for maybe a year, like 9th, 10th grade, something like that. He was only there for like a year or two. And so other than that, I had my uncles and stuff, but they didn't live in my house. So in my house, I was the man of the house. I had to do a lot of things. So my mom worked twice, but in my cousin's house, he made a lot of mistakes and they had a chance to learn. I couldn't afford to make a lot of mistakes.
That's real.
Yeah. I think just through my experience, so much of becoming a man happens in the dark. And I feel like at our point in life right now, we need to be those torchbearers and just listen out for those cue points and the generation behind us, because there's certain things that happen that you can kind of tell, like, yo, you just went through something. I think right now where we at, we need to be able to reach back and embrace them as a group, almost like second nature. I think a lot of times we're called to do things and we don't want to step up to that spotlight, whether it be defending our women or raising our children. But I think the only way for us to progress as a unit is for us to not even, it's got to be instinctual. Like, you see it, we need to act. And that's going forward for every time we see something like that happening. So that's my challenge for this discussion, is that if it's our women, our community, our kids, you feel it. You know what you know, that vibe that you feel inside you, that you need to do something right now. Like, it's that time. We got to act. Like, if you see a kid that you know is about to go the wrong way because we went there already, act. If you see a woman that needs our assistance, act. And I think that's my challenge for myself, especially, but also to everybody listening and to my crew right here, to act. Like, you feel it, so move. Do you guys got any closing thoughts on this discussion? Anything that you kind of want to leave with the guests?
Trey?
I just want everybody to live their life accordingly. Enjoy it, because you only get one of them. That's it. Live your life. Put God first. If you don't believe in God, put something first. If you gotta have faith in something, keep pushing forward. Never stop moving. Keep pushing forward. That's it.
Matt, what you got?
I say the same thing I usually say. Be the light that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. If you want something in this world to be better, you got to first be it yourself. You got to do the work. Whatever that may take, start with you. And then you can branch off and help build everybody else up. But start with you. Stand on it.
For me, I think the only thing I'll leave you with a book.
Okay.
One that affected me, that I still listen to every now and then, art, because I don't have the physical copy no more. Somehow I lost it. I don't know where it happened to it. But Understanding the Purpose and Power of Men is by Dr. Miles Monroe. It's a great book. I say just check it out and read it. Maybe share it with somebody, gift it to somebody that may need it after you.
Big facts, man. And once again, I want to thank you for listening to the conversation here on the Black Gentlemen's Club. Make sure you subscribe, tag a friend, share with somebody else. Get them tapped in so we can keep growing together. May God grant you blessings and peace be among you. We out.